First off, we'd like to thank everybody for coming, taking time out of your busy schedules to come and see this. This is our first ever cadet class from the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. The cadets will be presenting themselves shortly. They'll come in. After they come in, they will remain standing. We'll ask at that point for everybody else to stand up when I pledge of allegiance to the flag, and then we'll continue on with the ceremony. Thank you.
Everyone please stand as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Good evening. Thank everybody that come out tonight to support this group. Like Chief Sexton said, it's our first graduating class from the Sheriff's Department here in Anderson County. Sheriff Barker is on his way. He was trying to get back from a camping trip in Sevierville, and traffic has got him delayed. He will make it before we leave, but he wanted us to not hold everybody up and go ahead and start. So I'd like to start out recognizing the command staff. Chief Robert Sexton. My name's Brian Galloway, the Chief Deputy of Anderson County. I don't see Chief Parker. Captain Val from the Corrections Jail, thank you for coming. Also one of our county commissioners. I'd like to introduce and thank the board. Jay Yeager, he's the chair. He's with our Anderson County Law Director's Office. He's put a lot of work into this program. Chief Robert Sexton has been the vice chair. Nicole Brooks is the treasurer. Where's Nicole? She's not made it yet?
She's putting flags in.
Okay. Shannon Gray, are you here? Shannon Gray, one of the constables here in Anderson County in the Andersonville District. He's part of our board. Spartacus Jordan, are you here? I'm here. Thank you. Derek Setzer, are you here? He also is part of our board. We want to thank the sponsors that's helped this program be successful. That's Fox Toyota, the Hollingsworth Company, Bill Gallagher, Nicholas Burton. Are you here, Nicholas? Hugh and Margie Cox, Stephen and Martha Cox, and Nicholas Burton again. If any of y'all here, please raise your hand and let us know. Thank you very much for supporting this program. We will, our instructors also. Anderson County Sheriff's Department provided a lot of instructors for their training, from canines to everybody that's involved in our department. I think Jail Division was involved. Anderson County EMS was very supportive in a lot of training. The Anderson County District Attorney's Office assisted, as well as the Anderson County Law Director's Office, Jay Yeager and Nicole. Before we get started, they've already done some promotions with the group. I want to just recognize them. Promoted to captain recently was J.C. Logan. Lieutenant was promoted was Alex Gibson, and the sergeant promotion was Samantha Delk. Give them a hand, please. So we're going to go ahead and do the presentation of their certificate. First, Cadet Jalen Jeffries. Cadet Kennelan Clark. Thank you. Cadet Jessica Bryant. Cadet Gabriel Deaton. Thank you. Captain Josie Logan. Thank you. Sergeant Sam Delp. Thank you. Cadet Lucas Pruitt. Cadet Helen Burton. Thank you very much. Lieutenant Alex Gibson. Thank you very much. Cadet Chandler Ham. Cadet Cole Smith. Cadet Tyler Potter. Thank you.
Be seated, then get the special ones out here.
Cadets, please be seated.
Thank you. Throughout their training and time together, they were evaluated, they were scored on tests. I think the test was just last night. They've been to the firing range where they've all had the chance to shoot handguns as well as rifles. They've had driving training. They got to do some of our driving training. So throughout all their time together, they've come up with some awards they want to present. And the first award we want to present is the Leadership Award. And the Leadership Award is Josie Logan. Congratulations. The next award is the High Academic Award, and that award goes to Cole Smith. The last award is the High Shooter, and that award goes to Tyler Potter. Thank you.
Cadets, please be seated.
Again, before I step away, I want to thank all of you for allowing them to be part of this program and supporting them. I want to thank Deputy Carr, came to the sheriff and us not very many months after we took office with the idea of what the Explorer program meant to him growing up. Jay Yeager also has a lot of experience dealing with Explorer programs in his prior career as a law enforcement officer. It's the support from family that allows these young cadets to learn what law enforcement is about. I just want to thank you on behalf of Sheriff Barker and the Sheriff's Department, and look forward to seeing where they go in their future. And Thank you guys very much.
As Chief Galloway said, I'm Robert Sexton, Assistant Chief of the Sheriff's Office. I'm just going to cover a little bit about what some of their training consisted of. I know family probably heard what they were doing every week as they came home, and maybe overwhelmed, maybe excited, maybe it took a while to calm them back down to the real world after some of our events. But we started out doing a curriculum much like you would see in a police academy. Jay Yeager designed most of the curriculum. We all worked on it. We started out with introduction to law, criminal law, what it is, what's needed in making an arrest, probable cause, reasonable suspicion, the arrest procedure itself. Then we had one night that we did defensive tactics, and I don't know if anybody came home bruised from that or not, but it was a physical night that night. We've also gone into things like first aid. EMS came in and gave out everybody their own first aid bag to take care of stuff. So they did that. We've had a unit on gangs. We've had a unit on driving. Everybody did driving. We did one night, we did traffic stops. And then we did high-risk traffic stops to let them know just how dangerous it is at times to be a law enforcement officer and just how much stuff you have to look at, assess, evaluate, and be prepared to respond to. We push these kids pretty hard. More and more we got into discipline, which is something that they're not used to from this frame of mind, but discipline is very important in law enforcement. We let them select their own leaders. These leaders that you saw picked were picked by the people in the post itself. They actually are the ones that decided who they wanted to be their leaders. I think they did a good job. Then COVID hit, and we're out of pocket for 2 months, I guess. We came back with a much smaller group. When we were pro-COVID, before it, we were averaging probably 20 to 24 kids a week. After COVID came and went, we dropped down to the 12 that you see up here on the stage tonight. They stuck with it. I respect them, I admire them for sticking with it. They seem to be excited. We tried to have fun, but we tried to teach. I hope that they learned the lessons that we had for them and not just the fact that it was fun to shoot a gun that night. Or not, they really got competitive with the guns. It was amazing. The kids, I think, in the time we've been together, I've seen tremendous growth in their maturity, in their ability to grasp the knowledge that they'll need if they go further in law enforcement than this. We went all the way to the end. Last night they had a 100-question exam. Now, if you can imagine being a kid and trying to study for a 100-question exam, that's quite remarkable. I don't see our sheriff in here right now, but I would like to remind him that one of the students, and I'm not going to drop anybody in, but one of our students said our sheriff's name for this county was Smith & Wesson. She missed that question. It was a good shot, but she missed it. So we've had a lot of fun. We've tried to grow them a lot. We've tried to teach them a lot. We're going to meet next Tuesday at 6, probably for the last time for a while as a whole group. But we need to decide a couple things. The supervisors for the future. Josie leaves in 2 weeks.
Thursday.
This Thursday. Josie leaves for college. So we need somebody to step up to the rank of captain, and then somebody have to step up to the rank of lieutenant, and then somebody have to step up to the rank of sergeant. So we're going to do that. And then the second thing we want to do when we meet this coming week is to decide exactly where we want to go now that they're through the program. We've had talks before about, before COVID, maybe helping them park cars at the high school football games and maybe get the schools go along with us to support us and maybe charge a little bit to park there and put that money in the coffers for the cadet program. We still don't know what's going to happen on that. It seems like every day you see the news, read the paper, and it's changed again. So we don't know. But we want to have ideas that we can utilize them. We don't want them to just go through this and do nothing. We've envisioned things within the sheriff's office of missing person where we need a lot of manpower, and it's not a dangerous thing to form lines to walk for lost and missing kids, lost and missing adults with dementia and stuff like that. Anytime we have an event like the fair, which also got canceled. We were going to use the cadets to assist at the fair with stuff. We talked about with the cadets even last night, the possibility of football games, if we have them, of them assisting an officer, but one of the things that we put on that right up front, they would have to be with an officer, under an officer's supervision. They know that they're not officers. They've had training, some training that officers have, but we don't want the cadets to get out and get hurt by trying to do law enforcement, because even sometimes being a law enforcement officer with all equipment, it still can take a very quick turn for the worse. So their safety is our concern. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, whoever, you've done a great job raising your kids. I want to compliment you. In the day and time we live in, instead of them being out causing trouble or during the summer out doing something mischievous, they were studying, they were working, they were showing up at the meetings, and that is very commendable on your all's part, because some of these kids don't drive, and that means mommy and daddy, grandparent, aunt and uncle, somebody had to bring them to every meeting, and we appreciate that. I still don't see Sheriff Parker in. I would like to introduce the other people on the stage here. On the corner right here in the back row, we got Corporal Kim Lay. She is an SRO that teaches lead. Sergeant Wendy Garrison is over our SOO program. We now have one in every school in the county, or we'll have from the school starts, right? So every school in the county want to have a full-time officer assigned to that school. Beside her is Feathers Weeks. Feather is the one that designed our certificates. I think she did an outstanding job at that. We didn't know till, I guess it was 2 meetings ago, wasn't it, Jay, that she was doodling something, and next thing you know, she's presented these certificates, which were amazing. Next up, we got Matt Longhorn. Matt was the Officer of the Year last year for the Sheriff's Office. I'm sorry, Matt McGee. He led the Sheriff's Department last year in DUI arrests and overall arrests and putting people in jail. And if you want to know where bad guys in this county, ask Matt, he can tell you. Up here we got Sean Bannock. Sean's a corporal in the SRO program. For a long time, Sean was the SRO here at Anderson County High School. He's now a supervisor, and he will have, well, y'all gonna split it in half with the corporals, is that right? Half the county will be under his command with the schools, half of it will be under Corporal Lay. We have Sharon Baird here. Sharon has been on the board with us. She's also been at about every meeting, maybe missed one or two, but she's been about every meeting. It's real hard for a male to talk to a female, especially a kid, and it not come out wrong. So we've had females all the way through with us to kind of fill in that gap so that nobody can accuse us of any wrongdoing, because we don't tolerate that. Chief Galloway is the Chief Deputy of Anderson County. He and the sheriff have been most generous in giving us a blessing to go ahead and try to make the best cadet program that we can make. We're not as big as Knox County, we're not as big as Knoxville City, but I would put our cadets up against anybody. And I say that out of respect for you all. I've probably ridden them harder than most people, but at the same time, I've probably poked them more than anybody else has poked them also. So I hope you all have enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. Rusty Carr over here, like Chief Galloway said, he approached the sheriff and Chief Galloway about the fact of we need to look at doing something for the kids. And it's evolved from there to where we are today. And so today, the Sheriff's Office proudly graduates its first cadet class. And I'm proud of y'all to the person, I really am. Anybody got any questions or anything from the audience? I'm trying to kill time, obviously. Hoping the sheriff will get here.
Lieutenant Mansfield just showed up. He spent all week out there with them.
Lieutenant Mansfield is back there. He was here for driving and firearms. He actually, a couple of them had a little bit of difficulty hitting the target, and he helped them zero in on it. And the ones that didn't shoot well, I can tell you this, my first week at the academy in Donaldson, I shot a 58 on the last day of the first week. The last day of the second week when we qualified, I shot 98. The sights are different for everybody. How you sight in is different. Once you find your sweet spot, you're there. We just didn't have time to develop that. So everybody here can do it. Shooting is more of a mental thing than physical anyway. You just got to convince yourself to do it. See the paper, shoot the paper. That's all it is. So, Lieutenant, we thank you for supporting us and things you did. Who is that back there? Officer Preston is with the K-9 Division. He's got a dog now called Bolo, might be on the lookout for. Bolo's going to be an awesome dog. He's a young dog right now. You've only had him on the road 2 weeks?
That's my third week.
Third week. Bolo's going to be a really good dog when he figures it all out. Quite impressive. Who else we got back there? Lieutenant Allen from the jail is over the booking. Captain Val is sitting beside him. Who else do we have back there? Anybody? Anybody else from the agency, from the sheriff's office? All right. Questions from the family? Once again, we appreciate y'all being here. We appreciate y'all supporting. We appreciate y'all sacrificing your time to make sure that they made it there every week. So with that, do you have anything else, Chief Kelly? All right. Y'all may want to look. We've got an extra one here. Cole Smith, this is yours. So, y'all, when you get outside, find yours, okay? All right. You can take them out, stand them up.
Cadets, please stand. I'm going to go ahead and take my mask off so y'all can hear me. We have a few gifts for our instructors, plus for our 3 main instructors, plus we have a few more for people that really made an impact in all of our lives as some of our top instructors for classes. I think he walked out. Jay Yeager, is he still in here? Well, thank you
I
so
got a
much
lot
for
more out of
everything
this
you've done.
out of you.
Thank you.
You did fantastic, lady.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one's going to go to Commander Rusty Carr. He's, as you heard, he was the one that started this whole program for us, and I want to thank him so much for getting this going for us. Thank you so much. And we had one for Lieutenant Steve Owens, who I don't believe he is here tonight, is he? All right. And then the Sheriff Russell Barker, and he's not here as well. So then our last one's going to go to Chief Robert Sexton. I just want to thank him for everything he's done, especially our after-meeting talks with the leaders that really hit deep with me. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. The cadets are going to be outside if you want to talk to any of them, ask questions. Also, families, you can go talk to your kids now. Thank you so much for being here.